Lexia Charday, and you're watching Rush Hour Entertainment. Today, I have the last part of my interview with Jay Sean. Check it out. So what were you doing to make a living before you started recording?
I only had 2 jobs before I became a pop star, and that was one, I worked in the equivalent of Whole Foods in England, except I was stuck in the frozen food section where I had to walk back and forth into a humongous human-sized refrigerator to keep stocking the shelf. I was like, that lasted 3 days, and I left. And then my other job was I worked at the airport as a not even a waiter, just cleaning tables and sort of just like that lasted 5 days, and then I became pop star.
So you only were employed for like about 8 days.
Yes, that was bad. I guess you know, but you know what? It's because I was young, and you know I had those. My parents had a business, so I used to work with them anyway. But you know, I tried to work elsewhere and just I couldn't do it. and you know what? The funny thing was, I feel like you know what you're gonna do. There's something inside you which leads you to where you're gonna go. So even when I was in med school, the music didn't stop. I'd go to my lectures and stuff, and I'd do all of that, and then I'd be doing a gig at night. You know, I'd be performing in a club or something for like 1,000, 2,000 people, semi-famous on the streets, but then still going to school in the daytime, and it was interesting for me because I couldn't let it go, and I guess it was because it was meant to be for me.
So where were you when you first heard Down on the radio?
I was in New York, and I was on the George Washington Bridge, and came on the radio, and the first thing I did was I was confused like this. I went, and then I pressed the CD button, eject, to make sure it wasn't my CD in there. I was like, no, that's coming out of that's me coming out of the radio in America. Does you guys listening to this? I'll wind down my window. That's me on here on the radio. It was just great because, you know, I still hadn't made a name for myself, but my song was on radio.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing about music here in America, is that you can have a song which is humongous on the radio before you even see the artist's face, and sometimes not even know their name.
Yeah.
Whereas often the other way around in the rest of the world, they kind of like, you have to have a story and a package first before they even decide to play your song. But here, they let the music speak first, which is actually brilliant because that's what it should be about.
Yeah.
You shouldn't judge anything but the song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what I love about it.
Yeah. So, when you were younger, you had a hip-hop duo with your cousin?
Mm-hmm.
What was that? What was it called?
It was called CD, which stood for compulsive disorder. Mm-hmm. It was basically an abbreviation of OCD, because we were obsessed with hip-hop.
Yeah.
I mean, it was early 90s, so that time you had people like Big L, you had people like, Fushnikins and Das Effects and Lords of the Underground, leaders of the New School. We were into all of that, Tribe, De La Soul. And we were young, we were like 12, 13 years old. And we were just fascinated by hip hop. And the thing is, coming from England, we're listening to American hip hop. And we have our own style of hip hop in England. We rap in British accents. We don't, even though it's a funny thing, when you sing, we sing in an American accent, which is strange because you'd like, why don't you, if you can sing in an American accent, why don't you rap in an American, but because rapping is talking on a beat, really.
Yeah, talking fast.
It's just talking over a beat. So if you're doing that, you have to sort of represent your area and your ends, and you do it in the way that you know best. And so we did it, and we dabbled in it, and I used to produce a little bit. But then what happened was I used to sing on the hooks as well. So I'd rap, and then I'd sing on the hooks. It was very much a Drake thing. It was that kind of vibe. But then singing is really what took off for me, and that's really what I became obsessed with then. Then I started getting into R&B major. Then I started getting into like Jodeci and Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans and all that stuff. And then I was like, okay, this is what I think I want to do, you know? You go through loads of different things before you discover who you are, I think.
Thanks for watching Rush Hour Entertainment. Be sure to send us an email at rushhour@transit-tv.com with any questions, suggestions, or comments. And also, if you missed this segment or any other of our interviews, be sure to watch them at our blog spot at rushhourentertainment.tumblr.com. Until next time, I'm Lexia Charday, and I'll see you guys in traffic.